Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I'm your biology teacher and today I welcome you all in the grade 10th and today we are going to study the chapter number 10 of your biology book, which is the gaseous exchange. As you all know that in the previous class, in the previous grade 9, we have done the chapter from chapter number 1 till chapter number 9. Now this book is a continuation of the previous book, so that's why this chapter is called as a chapter number 10 and it is not called as a chapter number 1, because this metric system, like the grade 9 and 10, they are both complementary to each other, they are not separate things. Okay, now this is the chapter number 10 and the name of the chapter is the gaseous exchange. So let's start. What is the gaseous exchange and what is the process of the gaseous exchange in plants and in animals? Okay, now basically the learning objectives of our lesson is the study about the basic concept of the gaseous exchange and the difference between the breathing and respiration, and the gaseous exchange, how the gaseous exchange occur in plants. Okay, now in the grade 9 we have studied how cells generate the ATP from the food. As you all know, the chapter of bioenergetics, and in that chapter we have studied that how cells produce the ATP when the glucose is oxidized, and it produces the energy in the form of ATP with glucose. Whenever the glucose is oxidized, it will produce the carbon dioxide, water and energy. That was the process of respiration, like you have studied in the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So cellular respiration is the process in which the carbon and hydrogen bonds in food are broken by oxidation reduction reactions. This is the previous concept of the cellular respiration. Like in this cellular respiration, the carbon hydrogen bond that are present in the sugar molecule or that is present in the glucose molecules, they are broken down in the presence of oxygen, and the reaction is called as the oxidation reduction reactions, and energy is transformed into the ATP, and the energy that releases during this oxidation process, it combines in the form of the energy currency of the cells, which is called as the ATP molecule. Okay, now in aerobic respiration, oxygen is used and there is complete oxidation of food molecule. Like all of you have well understood the concept of the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. The basic difference between them is the presence of oxygen, and the other reaction occurs in the absence of oxygen. So aerobic respiration is basically that kind of the respiration in which the food molecule is broken down in the complete presence of oxygen, while the another system, which is the anaerobic respiration, in which the sugar molecule or the food molecule, they are broken down incompletely as the oxygen is not present in this reaction. So we have studied maybe you have remembered that in anaerobic respiration we have studied that the glucose molecule is first broken down into the pyruvic acid. Then this pyruvic acid, it is either broken into the alcohol in the ethyl alcohol or lactic acid. So basically that is the anaerobic respiration. So okay, now come back to the topic. A complete oxidation of the food and water and carbon dioxide is released. So the complete oxidation occurs. So with the complete oxidation of the food molecule, a proper unit of energy is formed, which is called as the ATP. Carbon dioxide and water are also produced in this process. So in this process, like this is the complete breakdown of the glucose, so it will yield the water and carbon dioxide, also with the addition of ATP molecule. Okay, now as you all know that organisms get the oxygen needed for cellular respiration from their environment and produce and provide it to their cells. Like all of the organisms all of the organisms, they take in the oxygen from their environment, and that respiration is basically called as a cellular respiration, because each oxygen molecule, it will get inside to each cell of the body. That is why it is called as a cellular respiration. Means respiration is occurring at each cell, respiration is occurring in each cell of the body. That is why it is called as a cellular respiration. Now this cellular respiration is further divided into aerobic and anaerobic. Like in the cell, inside the cell, with the complete presence of oxygen, the broken down of the glucose is called as a aerobic respiration, while in another cell in which there is no supply of oxygen, then this broken down of the glucose molecule, it will be called as the anaerobic respiration. The carbon dioxide produced during cellular respiration is taken out of the cells and ultimately from the body. As you all know that oxygen is taken into the body, and similarly when this process of respiration occurs, it will produce carbon dioxide as a byproduct, and that carbon dioxide is released, or it is taken out from the body into the environment. Taking in of oxygen and giving out of the carbon dioxide is termed as a gaseous exchange. Now underline this line, that what is the gaseous exchange? Gaseous exchange is basically the taking in of the oxygen and giving out the carbon dioxide. Means two gases are exchanging with the environment and the body. One gas is taken inside and another gas is taken outside of the body. So this is called as a gaseous exchange. Okay, now next, the term breathing is used for the process through which animals take air in their bodies to get oxygen from it. Means what is breathing? Breathing basically involves the lungs. So we take in the air through our nose, and this air, it also contains all type of the gases, but the most required thing is the oxygen, and the oxygen is taken into the body, and then the air that is breathed out from our nose, it contains the carbon dioxide. Means we are taking in the oxygen in the form of the air, and we are taking out the air which contains the carbon dioxide from our body. But breathing and respiration are not synonymous. Means they are not same, they are two different concepts. The breathing involves our nasal passage, our respiratory system. Means our lung system is involved in the process of breathing, so only our organ of lungs is involved. But in the case of respiration, our each cell is involved, and each cell take in the oxygen, and complete oxidation of the glucose molecule occur, and it will release out the water and carbon dioxide with the addition of ATP molecules as energy packets of the energy packets. Okay, respiration involves a mechanical. So respiration involves a mechanical process. Means our muscular system is involved. Means our nose, our nasal passage, larynx, pharynx, our bronchioles, this is all the mechanical concept in which our muscular cells, our muscular tissues are involved, and they are taking in the oxygen. While breathing is only the mechanical or physical process of the exchange of the respiration involves a mechanical and biochemical process. Means in the respiration process, biochemical changing occurs. Means there is the oxidation and reduction reactions are involved. So this is basically the respiration in which the biochemical and mechanical process are involved, whereas breathing is only the mechanical or physical process of exchange of the gases. Whereas in the breathing, only our physical muscles or mechanical system is involved, which involves the process of the exchange of the gases. So basically this is concept for today's lecture, that what is the gaseous exchange? Means that taking in of the air and taking out of the carbon dioxide. Similarly, we have studied the difference between the breathing and respiration. Means breathing is the mechanical process, whereas the Respiration is a biochemical process in which the reactions are properly involved and ATP energy is released. So this is all for today's lecture. We will meet in the next class. Thank you. Stay safe and Allah Hafiz.